Hello and welcome to the American Heritage School Virtual College Fair. Thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. That's why that Q&A button is really useful. You can direct your questions specifically to an institution, or you can present a question for all of our representatives to weigh in on today. This is just one of many different sessions that are happening, so we hope that you're signed up for the other programs this evening. This presentation, like all other presentations, is being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website where you registered. I'd now like to turn it over to our presenters, and I'm excited tonight that we'll be hearing from Dickinson College, Fairleigh Dickinson College, Muhlenberg College, Newman University, and Washington and Jefferson College. Our first presentation tonight will be from Dickinson College.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining. Just one moment as I get my slideshow started. And here we go. So welcome. My name is Amy Hall. I am the admissions officer for Dickinson College. We are a small liberal arts college in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. You can see here on the map, we're about an hour and a half from DC, about 2 hours from Philly, 3.5 from New York. So while we're a little bit more rurally located, we are very much within proximity of larger areas. Just a few top line numbers you should know about us. We have an 8-to-1 student faculty ratio, an average class size of 14. We are an institution where you really do get to know your faculty members and they get to know you. We offer 45 different majors, 6 certificate programs. A number of our students will major in an international area or do an interdisciplinary field, as well as double major with multiple minors. We really want you to be able to explore as part of your education. Now, these numbers are great and give you a sense of what kind of day-to-day life is like at Dickinson, but what makes us different from other liberal arts colleges? That's an essential question because these numbers are very much in line with other small liberal arts colleges that you'll even hear from today. So what makes Dickinson distinctive? What makes us us? Well, I'd like to call it the 3 pillars of Dickinson, the 3 kind of defining features of Dickinson. The first is an emphasis on a global education. The second is a commitment to sustainability. And the third is an education that focuses on being useful, that provides civic engagement and helps you as a person work towards a larger good. So I'm gonna walk through these things real quick and then talk to you a little bit about the admissions process. First is this idea of a global education. When I say global, everyone's first thought to study abroad, and I'll talk about that in a second, but we at Dickinson want you to engage globally every single day. We want you to be doing it in and out of the classroom every day that you're a Dickinsonian, whether you're in Carlisle or you're in New Zealand. So on campus, it looks like an emphasis on internationally themed majors, so our business majors, international business and management, international studies, foreign language. It looks like a high number of international students, but it also looks like our class is being taught with a built-in global component. What that means is that all of the classes are taught within the context of why what you're doing has an impact on the world around you. The other side of global education is study abroad, and Dickinson is very good at study abroad. We're consistently ranked in the top 5 in the country for long-term study abroad options. We run our own programs. All of our programs have a Dickinson faculty member there. The classes you take at one of our programs and abroad transfers back automatically for credit at Dickinson. So we make sure that you can go abroad and still graduate on time. Scholarships and financial aid also transfer back and forth. We want every student to be able to study abroad who wants to. So we have 2 dedicated science programs. Our student athletes study abroad at almost as high a rate as our general student population do. Everyone at Dickinson who wants to go abroad should be able to go abroad. The second big pillar of a Dickinson education is this idea of sustainability. I hope you hear this word from other colleges because we cannot be the only ones talking about it. That said, we have a long, proud history of really being committed to sustainability. We have what's called a green campus and a green curriculum. I'll talk about both those pieces. We are currently ranked #1 in the nation for sustainability. That's because of our efforts kind of across the board. But our campus itself is very sustainable. Our buildings are LEED certified. We have a 180-acre campus farm, 6 miles from campus. It's a working farm. The produce you eat in the dining hall is grown on the farm. It's a farm-to-table dining at Dickinson. But all in all, the way in which you live and you learn at Dickinson is very sustainable. The other side of sustainability is the actual curriculum. So I said green campus and green curriculum. Every single Dickinson student is required to take a class in sustainability to graduate. We think it's an essential conversation that your generation will have to be able to have, and so we should educate you on it. Over 100 different courses meet this requirement. You have options. You can see kind of a selection of them here, but we want you to be able to engage with this. The third pillar of Dickinson is this idea of a useful and an active education, that you're having a great 4 years, but they're not the last 4 years of your life. You should be able to go out and use your education after you graduate. So we want to make sure that you have a very hands-on, very exploratory based education. You should be able to use your education after you graduate. And you can only do that through practicing that before you do graduate. So heavy emphasis on internships. Our goal is 100% of our students will do an internship. Right now, it's about 94, 95% of our students are doing an internship before they graduate, doing research, making sure that you get to make your education your own. And this system works really well. Our students are successful after they graduate. This is a really important number here at the top left of the screen. 98% of our students are either employed in graduate school or doing meaningful service work within a year of graduation. When I say meaningful service, I mean Teach for America, Peace Corps. We're one of actually the top Peace Corps producing colleges in the country. Our students are out there engaging with the world using this Dickinson education to be tremendously successful. We also have great placement rates for law school, medical school. You can see these numbers at the top. Tremendous because of that hands-on, very close interactive experience. And because you get to practice your education before you graduate. Now, all this is great, and I would love to tell you more about it, but we have a finite amount of time. So that what's most important is to get to know us. Dickinson is a hugely personal place. We want to know every single applicant we work with before we even get to your application. So my biggest piece of advice is get in touch with me. My email's here. All of us who work in college admissions, you'll see that from all of us here, do this because we love working with students. We love getting to chat with you. No question is too small. Be in touch with me. Let me know how I can help you, and let me know how I can tell you more about Dickinson and what you're interested in. Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much, Amy, for sharing more with us about Dickinson. Our next school presenting will be Fairleigh Dickinson. Megan, take it
Hello,
away.
everyone. My name is Megan Troy, and I'm an undergraduate admissions counselor for Fairleigh Dickinson University. We are located in New Jersey. We have 2 campuses there. Let me get this going for us. Both campuses are very close to New York City. I'll tell you a little bit about each of them. So with Fairleigh Dickinson University, we are a small university. We have a 12-to-1 student to faculty ratio. Between our 2 campuses, our average class sizes are about 20 to 25 students in a class. With over 100 different options and majors and concentrations, there's lots to choose from. With the 2 campuses, there are also a different feel for both of our campuses. So I always tell students, if FDU is something that you think you're interested in, definitely take a look, whether it's virtually or in person, at our campuses. Between both of our campuses, we do have a large student organizations. We have about social, academic, pre-professional clubs, and sports clubs. All our students can be involved starting their freshman year, and if there isn't an organization for you, you're more than welcome to start one. For our students, we do also have an academic advantage. We call it our Combined Degree Advantage program, with 43 different academic programs that allow for our students to earn not just a bachelor's degree, but a master's degree as well. And what's great about this, you're doing it in 5 years' time as opposed to a traditional 6 or 7 year program. And for our students that are in that program, you don't have to decide as incoming freshmen. It's something you can decide as a sophomore or junior. And what's wonderful about that is you're also able to continue to have some financial advantages by doing this program. Usually the program is about 40% off the traditional graduate costs. So a little bit about the 2 campuses. Our Metropolitan campus is located in Teaneck, New Jersey, about 6 miles from New York City. I like to tell students we're about 10 minutes from the George Washington Bridge, so you can get to the city in the blink of an eye. We have 21 different Division I athletics, including starting next year, our men's volleyball team and our women's lacrosse team. With both of our campuses, we do have 2 different athletic divisions, so it's always important if you are interested in athletics to figure out which campus has the sport that you're interested in. With a little over 3,000 undergraduate students, a lot of our students are there for things like engineering and criminal justice and nursing, but with so many other options, you can literally study just about anything. Both of our campuses do have on-campus housing. It is not mandatory for our students, but if you're coming from Florida, it's more than likely that you're gonna live on campus. So there are housing options on both campuses. Our Florham campus, located in Madison, is about 20 miles from New York City, but again, still has great access with a train station right down the street from our campus to get into the city. We are Division III athletics there. And again, it's important to know which athletic team is on which campus. Our football and swimming team are only located on our Florham campus. A little over 2,600 undergrads, and our School of Pharmacy is located at our campus in Madison. Just a little look at our metropolitan campus. I mentioned before, we do have some majors that are specific to our campuses. Our metropolitan campus has our engineering and engineering technology programs, criminal justice, and marine biology, while our Madison campus has things like our creative arts, our theater program, film, graphic design. So if you are interested in programs like that, it is specific to the campus that you'll be attending. Just a breakdown of our colleges and schools. We do have 9 colleges and schools. This is where you will be living and learning, but also who will help you with it comes down to internships and job placement. Speaking of internships, it is important that our students do get to work in the fields that they're interested in before they graduate from us. So majority of our academic programs have built-in internships, which means they're required in order for you to graduate. The liaisons within your department and our career development office will assist in helping you find internships. We've had students go to places like Revlon Cosmetics, PSE&G, which is a New Jersey energy company. Students are going off to professional programs for medical school, law school. What's great about FDU, I think, within the departments and within our career development office, we do work really hard in making sure that our students have some type of experiential learning opportunities before they graduate. Something that we also are really good at is study abroad. We do have 2 international campuses of our own. We have a campus in Roxton, England, about 70 miles outside of London, and a campus in downtown Vancouver. While those 2 campuses are ours, our students are able to study abroad there for the same cost of tuition that they would pay if they were in New Jersey. But we also have a ton of other partnerships around the world where our students can go for short-term or long-term study abroad opportunities. I mentioned New York City being very close. One of my favorite things that we get to do is Broadway. So hopefully when it opens back up soon, our students will be able to go see Broadway shows again. We are a rolling admissions institution, so that means you can apply at any point, but it's always recommended that high school seniors apply by December 1st. We are waiving our application fees, so if you're still interested, you're more than welcome to apply. And what's great is that we are test optional, and we were before this year, but we've changed it a little bit so that it's more flexible for the students that are applying for the 2020-21 school year. That is a little bit about FDU, but if you would like to know more, we have virtual tours that are still going on. We do have some in-person tours happening as well. And you're always able to download our digital toolkit that can give you a brochure a little bit more about the university. Here's my contact information. Again, my name is Megan Troy from Fairleigh Dickinson University, and I would love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for taking the time out to listen to us today.
Great. Thank you so much, Megan, for sharing more about Fairleigh Dickinson with all of us. Our next school up will be Muhlenberg College.
Hey, everybody. I am so lucky that I get to work with students and families from American Heritage School and introduce you to Muhlenberg College. So welcome to Muhlenberg. Students choose Muhlenberg and faculty are committed to Muhlenberg because we are a community of learners who want to develop new skills, to stretch our imaginations, and to challenge existing beliefs. Muhlenberg is known for and proud of our community. While these are some of the numbers at Muhlenberg that you see coming on your screen here, it's important to remember that at Muhlenberg, our students are individuals who come together to form a community. Our students are supportive of one another, they are creative, they are curious, they are resilient, and they are kind. We are recognized in the rankings for best value, best food, best theater. We've earned gold for being green, an A+ grade from 538 pollster ranking, and our students have been honored for their community engagement. We have just about 2,000 students currently enrolled at Muhlenberg. 1/3 identify as Jewish, 1/3 identify as Roman Catholic. In the athletic front, we are the Mules of Muhlenberg. We compete in a Division III Centennial Conference, and our teams have won more than 33 conference championships since 2000. While we are small in population, we are big on opportunities and mentorship. And at Muhlenberg, we do academics, the arts, and athletics exceptionally well. This is an aerial view of part of our campus. You can see we're nestled into a suburban part of the neighborhood. We are 20 minutes to the totally awesome Lehigh Valley Airport, which is accessible from both Fort Lauderdale and Palm Beach International. We are 10 minutes to downtown Allentown. We are 1 hour to Philadelphia, and we are 2 hours to New York City. Fun fact, Allentown is the third largest and the fastest growing city in Pennsylvania. Our location in the Lehigh Valley lends itself to opportunities for our students to learn, to grow, to do outside of the classroom. This could be a part-time job or an internship at our minor league sports club, shadowing or doing a research project at a hospital at the Lehigh Valley Health Network, going to museums, amusement park, one of the many nature parks, going to the Symphony Hall, Target, Starbucks. We at Muhlenberg are traditional liberal arts college. Popular majors for first-year students as identified on their common application, which obviously can change throughout their time with the curriculum at Muhlenberg. So popular majors include business, and that's encompassing accounting, business, finance, and economics, theater, which does include musical theater, biology, psychology. My personal favorite is undecided. Yes, we do have public health. Growing in popularity among first-year applicants also includes neuroscience and computer science. And the flexibility for students to pursue their interests with the support of their advisors and their professors leads to an enriching experience at Muhlenberg and a strong foundation for life after Muhlenberg. Our students are engaged in their work and active in their community. They are supportive of each other. They are intellectually curious. They are smart. They are kind. They are good citizens. And gosh, do they have fun. There is something to do and ways to engage every day of the week at Muhlenberg. This could be programming from our Muhlenberg Activities Council, Multicultural Office, Greek Life, the Knitting Club, faith-based clubs, dance clubs, affinity groups, intramural sports, and so much more. Faculty at Muhlenberg serve as both scholars and mentors. Our faculty are incredibly committed to our students' to their growth as an intellectual, an academic, and a community member, and supportive of their students' pursuits. They're often found in the front row of an a cappella showcase, working individually with students on research projects, cheering them on in a performance on the field. And oftentimes that mentorship continues well beyond their time on campus together. The Muhlenberg experience does lead to powerful outcomes. Our graduates go on to become change makers, teachers, scientists, actors, business owners, coaches, journalists, designers, attorneys, physicians, and so much more. Obviously, leaders in their chosen field and productive members of their community and their workplace. And our graduates have lifelong access to the Career Center. Whoops. On this slide here that you see in front of you, you'll see Muhlenberg's famous red doors, which is a sign to our Lutheran roots and a sign of welcome. Notably, we have been test score optional for over 20 years, and that will continue. All applicants are considered for merit-based scholarships and honors consideration, and students can audition or submit a portfolio for a talent scholarship in film, music, dance, theater, art, and so on. We review applications holistically, taking into account all parts of your application, including demonstrated interest and character. When we read applications, our applicants present with a rigorous curriculum like honors and AP. And so I know you can do that at American Heritage. Our applicants use their application to speak to their passions, their interests, and their talents, all of which demonstrate their character and how they will be a good fit with the Muhlenberg community. Since 1848, we have been an institution of higher learning committed to our students' intellectual growth and personal growth. I invite you to learn more. I invite you to contact me. And if you're looking for something fun, follow Dogs of Muhlenberg on Instagram for a feel-good moment. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Tara, for sharing more about Muhlenberg. As we get ready to hear next from Newman University, I just want to remind our attendees that we do have the Q&A box open, so you can ask a question following up on something from one of our earlier speakers, or you can get ready to ask a question from one of our representatives who is still to present. So don't forget to use that Q&A. All right, Lauren, turn it over to you to share about Newman University.
Thank you very much, Jennifer. My name is Lauren Cicchetti. I'm the Associate Director of Newman University. I've been at Newman for 7 years and I stay because I absolutely love it here. Newman is a small private liberal arts institution in the Catholic Franciscan faith. So our RISE's values, reverence, integrity, service, excellence, and stewardship really do permeate the entire Newman experience. One of the things I love talking about is our excellence that we have been awarded this past year by U.S. News and World Report. And then also in the region, we're 8th in social mobility, meaning that our students really grow, graduate, and become productive students and employees after they go out into the career world. Couple of our awards recently given to us: a College of Distinction in Career Development, Education, Catholic institutions, and to add to what a lot of other people have said, we actually require 100% of our students to create and complete at least one internship as part of their undergraduate degree at Newman. We are a very career-oriented university, so we understand the value of that networking experience, that real-world experience as part of your college years. That means you're going to have a resume that really speaks to first-year employers after you graduate to be able to really get that first job. A little bit about Newman, numbers wise, we're about 2,400 undergraduate students, average class size, student faculty ratio 14:1. What this really says about Newman is that we're a small, personalized institution. You're going to know your faculty names, you're going to know your peers, you're going to be able to be in small classroom settings and really be able to grow and expand your knowledge at Newman while really engaging with the community and not feeling like that number. 99% of our students receive some sort of merit aid in the form of grants, scholarships, and loans. And then actually, just to add to that internship piece, 1 in 5 of our students receive a job directly from their internship experience at Newman. So wanted to put a list up of our entire list of programs there, some of our top majors: criminal justice, a couple new ones that are gaining in popularity, as we can all imagine why: cybersecurity and data science and analytics. Our health sciences majors are constantly popular, and our nursing major is our most popular major at Newman. We have some pre-professional programs as well. So students looking for that physical therapy doctoral program, we have that. It goes directly into our DPT program on Newman's campus, as well as our athletic training program as well. Our sports management program is a great one. We are 25 minutes outside of Philadelphia in a suburban campus, but we are highly accessible to all of those options in Philadelphia as well. So love talking about our student that had the experience with the Eagles. He was working for them for his internship and was able to get a job with them. And the way that they helped him and see that and told him they want to be part of that team was they gave him a Super Bowl ring. So we have those highly coveted local internships where students can complete them as part of their degree at Newman. Some of the ways we support our students to be successful in the classroom: our tutoring writing center. The hub at Newman is a great place for students to go to make sure that they are getting everything they need to make sure that they're doing everything they need to do in classroom. So we also include career and personal development in there. They are able to start that process with them at the beginning of their career. They go into their first year classes and talk about what services they offer so students can start thinking about their career throughout the 4 years while they're at Newman. We have all of these 24 varsity club teams, as well as varsity teams, as well as our club teams at Newman. We are part of the Atlantic East Conference and the NCAA Division III. A lot of local schools, but we do travel and compete regionally across the board with schools that are similar to Newman. A little bit about the application process. You can apply to Newman now as part of the Common App or our Newman app on our website. We are rolling admission and we are also test optional. We require official high school transcripts, and then you can submit those optional items and we will do whatever is best for the Newman student, meaning we will look at your test scores, we will look at your transcripts and give you that best scholarship offer or that offer of admission, and our FAFSA school code is listed below. We want to be very transparent about scholarships available to our students. So right there is the list of scholarships that you can get as a student that applies for Newman for 2021. They range from $10,000 to $19,000, and that is just merit alone, not including additional scholarships you could be awarded as part of the process. And some other scholarships and grants we do offer. Since we are a Catholic institution, we offer an additional Catholic school grant, a nursing award for students that are interested in that nursing program, and a couple others just if you are looking for some of that money and financing for your education. Newman tries to support our students as much as possible. And that's all I have. Thank you very much.
You're muted, Jennifer.
There we go. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. It happens to us all. All right. We'll next be hearing from Washington and Jefferson College. And thank you, Lauren, for sharing about Newman too. So.
Great. Well, hi everyone. My name is Nicole Shannon. I'm an Associate Director of Admission here at Washington and Jefferson College. I've been at the college for about 5 years, and fun fact, my sister is currently a senior at WNJ and she'll be graduating this spring. But I'm going to start right here with where we are. We're located in Washington, Pennsylvania, which is down in the bottom left-hand corner of the state of Pennsylvania. We are right in the center of Washington County, so there is a lot going on right here in the city of Washington. We are the county seat, so we're home to a lot of the hustle and bustle of Washington, PA, but we're also pretty much completely surrounded by rural Pennsylvania. So if you're looking for hiking, biking, kayaking, any of those kinds of things, you can find them within just a couple minutes of campus as well. We are located just about 25-30 minutes away from the city of Pittsburgh. It's a straight shot. You really just take one highway right into the city of Pittsburgh. So our students do spend a lot of time going into the city of Pittsburgh. We do allow all of our students to have a car on campus. That's free of charge. However, if you don't want to pay for parking once you get to the city, or if you just don't feel like driving that day, we do offer shuttles for our students to get to and from the city of Pittsburgh on the weekends and around the Washington area on the weekdays. Just so you're aware, right here in Washington, we do have a Target, a Walmart, a few grocery stores, pretty much every chain restaurant you can think of, including Chick-fil-A and Chipotle and all the good ones. So you literally do have everything that you need within about a mile of campus. But it's great to know that we're very, very close to the city of Pittsburgh as well. If you want to go and see a show, see a concert, see a sports team play, you can always do that as well. We're also pretty centrally located among a bunch of other large cities. So here you can see, I mean, all of these are within 8 hours of campus: Chicago, New York City, Washington, DC. Morgantown, West Virginia is only about 45 minutes away from us. Cleveland's about 2 hours from us. We're very close to Buffalo, New York. We're very close to, obviously, New Jersey and Baltimore and a lot of other cities around the country. So it is a very great location to be if you are looking for that like more suburban feel campus with access to the larger city. And here's a nice little picture of Pittsburgh. So just a couple more fun facts about Pittsburgh, but we are a #1 travel destination for your generation. We also are home to more than 15 festivals each year. My favorite definitely being our pickle festival called Picklesburg. We are a top 10 city for foodies, one of America's top 25 college towns, and a #1 city for young people. So one unique thing about our students is they come to Washington, they come to Pittsburgh from all around the country. But a lot of students stick around because, you know, it is a really affordable city to start your life in. So just a couple fun facts about our history. We were founded in 1781. We merged together as Washington College and Jefferson College. We merged together in 1865 to form what is now known as WNJ. Our mascot, or our nickname, is the Presidents, and our motto is Thriving Together. This building right here in the top left corner is still standing on campus, and it's one of the oldest college buildings still in use in the entire country. So I'll talk about these things, but I'll share our majors and minors with you because I'm sure that's something that you're looking to learn today. So you can see all of our over 30 majors and over 30 minors right here on the screen right now. We do have an average class size of about 15 students. Our student to faculty ratio is 10:1. More than 80% of our classes have less than 20 students in them. And we do have a variety of pre-professional programs as well, which I'll show you on the next slide. Our top 5 most popular majors are business administration, accounting, communication arts, psychology, and political science. We also have a thematic major, which is the bottom one on the left-hand side, and that is literally a create your own major. If there is an area that you're interested in that we don't offer, or you want to combine a couple different areas, you can do that, and you can work with our faculty members to create your own curriculum to the program that you want to study. I mentioned the pre-professional and special programs, 3-2 engineering with Columbia University, Case Western Reserve University, Washington University, and the University of Pittsburgh. Education teacher certification, we do have a 100% pass rate for the praxis exams and a 100% placement rate into jobs after graduation for our education students. Pre-health and pre-law are basically historically what we are known for here at WNJ. We consistently have over 90% of our students in both pre-health and pre-law being admitted to medical schools, allied health schools, and law schools. And then we also have ROTC as well. The Magellan Project is very unique to WNJ and something that our students take advantage of every single year, with the exception, of course, of this year. But this is an opportunity for all freshmen, sophomore, and junior students to design their own passion project anywhere in the world, or find an internship anywhere in the world, and the college funds them to complete that experience. So here are some examples up on the screen right now, but it is a completely funded program by our alumni. So every year we send out over 100 students to do passion projects around the world, and the college funds that experience. We do have study abroad as well. About 40% of our students study abroad. We have over 35 partners in 20 countries. We do have athletics. I know that I'm running out of time. So we do have athletics. We have 26 NCAA Division III sports, men's and women's. We also offer Navigate and Embark, which are 2 holistic advising programs for our freshmen and our senior students. Quickly,
Nicole,
yeah.
I'm really sorry. We've hit our 6-minute mark.
Okay, sorry.
So, especially for your contact info or anything, and also to all of our other panelists, please feel free to drop that into the chat so that our attendees can see that. You can link, grab those emails, grab the websites, and make sure you have that info so you can follow up afterwards. So thanks, Nicole, for sharing about Washington and Jefferson. Really appreciate it. All right. So we have worked through all 5 of our schools that are presenting today, but we still do have a little bit more time. So if any of our attendees have those last minute questions that they wish they'd already asked, to please put those in the Q&A. So our representatives will be still keeping an eye on that to answer any questions. And if I could have everyone else, you can see cameras are turning back on. So if I could have all of our presenters, all of our representatives come on back in, I'd appreciate that. All right, we're going to do just a little bit of a round robin question and answer. So you all have shared so much awesome info about your campuses and your communities, but I would love for you to share with our attendees and those who are watching later. Could you share a favorite event or tradition on campus that really gives a little insight into that special student experience? And we'll go in the same order that you presented. So we'll start with Amy at Dickinson. As the representative ahead of you finishes, just feel free to unmute yourself and go ahead and answer the question. So Amy, off to you.
Great. I love this question. So Dickinson, we're an old school. We're actually the 16th oldest school in the country. And ever since we were started in 1783, every single Dickinson student has signed into the college at the very beginning of orientation. And then at graduation, you sign out of the college. And what's really cool about this tradition is we keep all of the student registries in the library archives. And Dickinson has this mentality that everything on campus belongs to students. We exist to serve students, so everything belongs to you. And you as a student can go and look at all the registries of every single person who has ever attended Dickinson before you. So you can go back, you can look, and you can see where James Buchanan signed in when he was a Dickinson student. And actually, we expelled James Buchanan, so you can see where he's crossed out. And then we reinstated him, so you can see where he signed in and then signed out when he graduated. But it's a really great tradition because you get to look, and it's like a physical, visual piece of understanding that you're part of this enormous network, this enormous history, this enormous sense of tradition, and this enormous family. So I'm a Dickinson alum on top of working there. I loved when I was a student going back and looking whenever I felt like, oh my gosh, I don't think I can handle finals this week. I'd go back and be like, oh no, thousands and thousands and thousands of other Dickinsonians have survived this. I can do it too. But you're very much part of a community and a family at Dickinson.
I will talk about one of my favorite events. I kind of mentioned it during the presentation, but at FDU, we are so close to New York City. We try to take advantage of being there. I mentioned Broadway. We traditionally, in a normal year, go to 2 to 3 Broadway shows a semester, and our students can go for $25. And I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with Broadway, but you normally cannot get a ticket for that cheap. And in the time that I've been working for FDU, we've literally gone to see some of the greatest shows. Like Lion King is my absolute favorite. I've seen it like 3 times at this point. But it's one of the things that I always tell students, even if it's not your thing, you should try it out at least once. Broadway is everything.
One of my favorite traditions at Muhlenberg is Candlelight Carols, which is a celebration of the Christmas season. The one season I did get to go was the first day of Hanukkah as well. So we opened Candlelight Carols by lighting the first candle for Hanukkah. One of the reasons I love Candlelight Carols so much is because our students' passion for the arts shine. Our musicians, our dancers, our singers, they're all part of the program, and community members have readings. I am convinced that some families in the neighborhood don't even start their holiday season until they show up to Candlelight Carols. And this year I was so lucky to watch it digitally. It was all virtual, and I projected it from my backyard because I am regional here in Florida.
So my favorite event on Newman's campus is what we call the best day ever. It's kind of funny because it happens every single year, so it can't really be the best day ever, but it still is. It is the last day of regular classes before the week of finals, and it is just a celebration at the end of the year of students and all that they have accomplished in that year, and just a kind of a big party. So they get to have food trucks and things on campus, and they get tons and tons. Everyone loves food, so the tons of different activities, so they can just enjoy their community, enjoy the people that are around them before they really sit down and go for finals. So it's one of those nice days once the weather warms up here in PA, to be able to get those students really out and about and really celebrating the experience at Newman University.
Definitely my favorite event at WNJ is a pretty simple one, but it's one that happens every year, and that is our big block party that happens right before classes start in the fall semester. Our president lives right on campus with his wife, so it's really great. They open their home and always bring out like picnic blankets, and we have like burgers and hot dogs, and they bring some like local artists to come and perform. And the whole campus community, students, staff, faculty, everybody, all just gets together on the lawn of their yard, and we all get to hang out and enjoy some good food and enjoy some music. And that's just one of the many events that they put on for students. So, our students are really involved in our college president's life, which is great.
That's awesome. I love hearing about all these events. I hope that some attendees and those watching later might go Google and get to see a little bit about each of the events and traditions that you all have shared. That's awesome. All right, so for our next question, I'm just going to pull that up right now. So you all are just such a wealth of wisdom in the college search process, and obviously the American Heritage students have a great counseling staff as well at school, but to share from the pros, if each of our panelists could share a tip or a piece of advice that you think is really important for students that are going through the college search process that you want them to keep in mind, and especially with all of your institutions as well being out of state, that brings a whole nother measure of exploration and sharing too, that I'm sure you can bring in. So we'll go in the same order. So Amy, you are up first again. Thank you so much. And take it away.
Yeah, so my biggest piece of advice is that you should never be in the dark. You have a wonderful college counseling staff who is a great support system. They're going to be able to help you. But they can't answer every single little minute question about our institutions. They don't know exactly what is going to happen every Thursday at Dickinson. There's so much little things to know. So ask us. I said earlier that all of us work in college admissions because we like working with students, like we enjoy talking to you. So please do talk to us. Nothing can be more helpful to you in the process than asking those questions. Even if you think it's a small question, it could have a complicated answer or it couldn't have a complicated answer, but it's good to reach out and ask that. You should never sit in the dark and say, oh, I wish I could figure this out, but I can't, or the website's too hard, I can't find it. Like, ask us, just ask the college reps.
I think one of the things that I would suggest while we're kind of in this virtual time, this might be one of the best times to start exploring schools that you probably wouldn't have visited otherwise. A lot of schools now have virtual tours that are available. So we are all from out of state. You guys are in Florida. You may not have been able to come to New Jersey or New York or Pennsylvania to visit any of us. So right now is a great time to log on to our websites, sign up for a virtual admissions event or even a virtual tour. Those are some of the things that I think that you guys are benefiting from that students in other years didn't really get to. So while you may not be able to physically visit us, you have an opportunity that other students never got because you're able to visit us virtually. So that's my advice.
I would suggest that you are open to schools that you may not have ever heard of before. Going off of what we've said already, college resources and exploring colleges has never been so accessible for you, and you are so supported by your college counselors at American Heritage. So when Miss Lloyd or another college counselor suggests a school to you, say, yes, I can't wait to learn more about it, instead of, what is that school? So be open to schools you may not have heard of before.
I'll actually build off Megan's comments on visits. I know we're in this COVID world, but you can still drive. So if you're looking to places, go visit them and try to figure out what you like. That can help you narrow down that search process too. Knowing whether you want a big school, a small school, in a city, suburban, rural, really helps you narrow down that choice. And visiting and just driving through, even if you can't do an on-campus visit, can be really, really helpful in identifying that as a possibility. So visit if you can, and if you can't meet with anyone, still drive through and visit.
I echo what everybody had to say. Going last is kind of difficult, but definitely, visit as many schools as you can, virtually or in person. A lot of us are doing virtual visits, whether that be like a personal visit where you can do one-on-one with a counselor, or an actual event where you can go through a bunch of content that was curated specifically for that event, and for you and for the other people visiting that day. Another just quick piece of advice that I want to give, also check in with the schools you're interested in and see how they're handling everything right now. How a lot of schools are handling a literal global crisis can be really telling of the college itself and just what a lot of their values and, what they're looking for, moving forward, not just in bringing you to the college, but how they're treating their current students as well.
They're awesome tips and advice. And I think you're right. This is such a unique time. And so there are definitely things that are challenging about it. There are things that are really great about what you can learn about schools, in the time that we're in right now. All right, so I know we're getting close to the end, but I think we can get our last question in that's really fun and end on a fun fact note. So we can go quickly if everyone could share a last fun or interesting fact about your school. Maybe it's one that doesn't always make a presentation or is something that you just really love to share when you have the chance. And how about we go the opposite direction this time? We'll let Nicole go first and we'll mix it up and we'll go back. So we'll go reverse order. I think we can handle it.
Well, thank you. Just a quick fun fact. We are a very superstitious college. So we do have a college seal in the center of one of our favorite buildings on campus. And our students only get to walk across it 2 times, during matriculation and during graduation. It's rumored that if you step on it any other time throughout your 4 years, you're not going to graduate. So we do have it roped off so no students can, accidentally stumble upon it. But that's one of the coolest things about WNJ, in my opinion.
One of my favorite fun facts to tell is our Vice President of Mission and Ministry at Newman is Sister Marguerite. She is a little Irish nun and she's adorable. And she lives in the ministry house, which is in the center of campus with Sister Linda. And she loves meeting with students on tour. In the COVID world, she is a little bit older, so she doesn't like to be in person. But from her fenced-in porch or her screened-in porch, she loves to wave and talk to people through the bushes and often scares people because they're not expecting this little nun who's adorable to yell, "Hi, welcome to Newman," but is one of our students' favorite experiences when they're on tour because she just is so personable and so sweet, and they always remember that as part of their tours.
I wish I could show the 1985 Campbell's Soup ad that was filmed at Muhlenberg for every session I do. So you are very lucky. I'm going to drop it in the chat. 1985 Campbell's Soup filmed at Muhlenberg.
I think if you are a fan of Patrick Dempsey, if you go to his Instagram around January 29th-ish, you'll see that he's filming a pilot, and he is filming that at our Hennessy Mansion on our Madison campus. And a few Netflix series that came out since the pandemic also filmed at our mansion on campus. So I think that's really cool. I always miss when the celebrities are on campus. That's the only thing that bothers me. I tend to find out way after the fact, but our students get to see them.
So Dickinson has what's called a dog house. We're one of 3 small institutions in Pennsylvania certified to raise service dogs on our campus. So we have a special interest house where students live with and train puppies. And the dog house is the single most popular club at Dickinson because even outside of living in the house, everyone wants to volunteer to work with puppies. During finals, we have hug a puppy events. We have like a live stream set up for the first couple of months so the puppies are like with us, so that everyone, if you're just like taking a little study break, can watch the puppies play, or go play with the puppies if you want to. But we have puppies on campus and they're literally everyone's favorite community members.
Oh my gosh, that was worth it. These are all awesome facts. I love it. Well, we have come to the end of our time together. So thank you for joining us. To our panelists, our presenters, thank you for representing your institutions with not just the facts and figures, but just the passion that you have for your student experience on campus. To all of our attendees and those watching later, thank you for spending the time to learn more. And we hope this is really helping you in your college decision process. When you all close your window tonight, there's going to be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback that you can provide. Also, this is just one of many sessions that are being hosted by American Heritage. So we hope that you signed up and will be attending additional sessions. Also, in about a week's time, you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all of the other session recordings at the same website you registered. So we hope that you'll watch this again, or you will check out other schools that you perhaps weren't able to hear about during the programming tonight. So that is the end of our time together. So thank you everyone for spending time, and have a great day. Best wishes. Good night.